Hey, glad you're still here. I'm Rand Wise. And if you are enjoying my vibe, please like and subscribe. And here we go. Chapter 7.
How come you did not get your homework done first, Khadija?
Sahir asked his daughter. Once she arrived home after the tournament, she got busy finishing that homework. Because I didn't have enough time to get it done before I went out, Daddy.
We made a deal, Khadija, that your homework would be done before you go hanging out. I am putting you on restriction.
Daddy, please. Daddy, you can't. I have to perform for the marching band in 2 weeks, Daddy.
Khadija, you did not uphold your end of the deal, girl. I am already cutting you some slack regarding this dancing stuff. There is no future in that.
Daddy, please. Please, Daddy.
No.
Please.
No, Khadija. It's settled.
He left the room after saying that, walked down the hall and joined his wife in the master bedroom. Sahir, she's an A student.
And I want it to stay that way, Kim.
She stays focused. Now, Sahir, one mess up is not gonna...
Kim! One mess up leads to 2, and then 3, and then 4.
Oh, Sahir, you don't have a lot of confidence in her, do you?
She is a willful child. Very willful.
She is a willful child. She is just like her father. She is her father's daughter.
Why can't she be like Amina? Amina is so easy.
Yeah. Because she's a different person. But she's an A student. Tell you what, my dear. Give her one more chance. And if she messes up again, I won't even intervene in any way.
Ho, 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 ho. Kimmy. Oh, Kimmy. Kimmy, my lovely one. You always get me.
I'm your wife. I got you. And I'm keeping you. And you're keeping me. Now, give our baby daughter another little chance, okay? He put his arms around her and kissed her.
My lovely wife.
But Kim made sure to tell her daughter the very next day that if she fouled up again, she was on her own. She reminded Deja to stay focused and that she would support her as long as she was responsible. Otherwise, those privileges would be taken away. So the first thing Monday morning, Deej told the guys they would have to practice at her house. She had a basement and plenty of cardboard for everyone to spin on. Added to that was the fact that her parents could easily keep an eye on things. Not that she liked it, but that was the only way she could continue dancing. Chapter 8, October 29th, 1982. Romy and the guys hurried home once school ended that Friday. They were performing at the halftime game at school. They would have to change into their outfits and get the bus back to school. When he got home, he saw his mother sitting on the sofa.
Mom, I thought you went to work today.
She had on a sad face. He could tell something was wrong. I got laid off. His heart sank. He crossed the room and sat next to her. He put his arms around her and said,
Mom, what happened?
Sales are down. They said they won't need me probably until around Christmas. To him, Christmas was a long time when there was no money. Romy felt panic rising. It was bad enough they hardly had any food. The rent was $80 a month. But where would that come from if she did not work? He had already asked Mr. Baker at the grocery store in the neighborhood if he needed help. The man told him he did not. Romy had found it hard to find a part-time job that would work with his school schedule and still be able to perform. He had a few dollars left from the tournament they won a couple of weeks ago, and he hoped something miraculous would happen before they fell behind in their rent. As it was, she was already on Section 8. Later, Baloo was beating Eastern High 24-3. Just before halftime, the band came out and performed. Excitement from people at the game grew. The band was the show. People showed up for the band even when they did not like football. Once the band was done, the announcer said, "And now, ladies and gentlemen, presenting Street Spin Syndicate." The drumline assembled and the group got on the field to do their pops and waves, but there were no backspins because that would be hard to do on grass, but they put it down. Once the show was over, the group decided to stay for the rest of the game. They took their place behind the band, higher up in the stands. Suddenly, someone joined them. Tuck looked to his left. It was Smoke and Woody. They wore smiles on their faces. Romy, who sat right next to Tuck, looked beyond his buddy and noticed the two men. He looked over at Deej, who was sitting between him and Supreme, who soon realized they had company.
"Y'all put on a good show out there tonight,"
Smoke said.
"We always put on a good show. What you expect?"
Tuck said.
"Well, that you do."
Smoke said, proffering his hand for a handshake. Tuck finally shook the man's hand.
"So, what do you want, Smoke?"
"I thought you never asked. I just left a meeting with Norman Preston."
Hearing that caused the other group members to perk up. All eyes were on Smoke's lips. Behind those lips was a mouthful of gold. He was dipped in gold jewelry.
He agreed that you guys were open for First Delegation when they perform at the Richmond Coliseum Saturday night, December 4th.
But wait a minute, hold up. How we gonna get there?
Romy asked.
"I'll order y'all a limo."
We'll think about it.
"Well, it's your choice, Mr. Tucker. You got 3 days to let me know."
With that, Smoke and Woody left. They disappeared almost the same way they appeared, quiet and stealth.
So did you hear what he just said, Tucker? First Delegation is the hottest girl group out there, and I heard Norman is generous with payments too. Listen, Romy, getting involved with Smoke is a trap, man.
Well, he did get Lone Wolf Rider endorsing Adidas now, Supreme said.
But at what cost?
Huh?
What does Lone Wolf owe him for that?
All Romy knew was that he needed money. And he would rather take that chance, at least. Y'all know what we should do? We should call Preston Records ourselves and tell them who we are and get confirmation. Deej said while Paula agreed and nodded.
Yo, that's a good idea, Tuck.
I never said it wasn't a good idea. What I'm saying is what he's going to be expecting if we take this gig. Okay. So, tell us what you think we have to lose for performing for First Delegation. Supreme finally joined the conversation. Tuck remained quiet. Romy hated when Tuck shut down because it was a sign of stubbornness.
Yeah, Tuck, we can do this one gig, get the money, and don't really have to say anything to Smoke again. I know he'll want to cut. Once we give him his cut, then that settles everything.
Finally, Tuck said, alright, and I hope it works out that way. But just for the rep, I don't trust Smoke at all. At all. Chapter 9. Romy and Supreme were not able to catch up with Lone Wolf until Wednesday. They saw him headed towards them in the crowded hallway between classes. They congratulated him on the endorsement.
Yeah, we saw your commercial, Wolf. It was deaf,
Romy said. So, tell me something, Wolf. How did Smoke get you on? Supreme wanted to know.
Well, Smoke got connections, yo. A lot of connections,
Lone Wolf said. That answer was way too vague for the guys, so Romy said,
but what kind? So tell me, like, does he know the president of Adidas or something?
I don't know, but he'll never give away the details of his black book, Lone Wolf said as he stopped at his locker. He opened it and grabbed his English book and continued,
all I know is that I'm getting paid.
He shut his locker and started on his way. So, it's like that, man? It's like that?
Yeah, it's sweet.
The guys grew excited.
But yo, is he taking a cut from your money though?
Not a lot. Romy and Supreme took that as a yes. Besides, what if Lone Wolf was protecting his pride? He didn't say how much Smoke was getting, and he never said how much he was being paid. They decided they would let it go. Deej told them at lunchtime that her mother had called Preston Records and confirmed they wanted them to perform for the group in Richmond.
So, what's up now, Deej?
So, my mom is taking us up there after school to meet with Mr. Preston.
What? Yo, for real though?
Yep, she sure is. They all high-fived. Deej's parents were the only ones who had reliable transportation. The rest of them were taking the bus. Romy's mother had a car, but she needed work done on it, so she drove as little as possible. Preston Records Studio was located in Northeast DC, right off Benning Road Northeast. All of the teams exited the van.
Yo, we about to meet the one and only Norman Preston. That's like meeting Barry Gordy, y'all.
I just hope we get to meet Yolanda and them. Deej was very interested in meeting the group.
So we will when we perform for them,
Tuck said. They entered the building, told the person at the front desk their purpose. Patrice, Norman's daughter, met them in the lobby and led them up to the boss's office. Norman was a medium brown-skinned man with a round face and a friendly smile. He was in his mid-40s, tall and friendly.
Hello, kids. I've seen y'all at shows and heard so many things about y'all. Congratulations on beating Eastern High School the other night.
So you know we go to Baloo?
Well, I sure enough do. And you must be Tucker. Yes, sir, I am.
Tucker also wanted to know how close Smoke was to Mr. Preston, but he decided not to ask.
And my name is Romy, Mr. Preston, Derek Roman. I'm glad you decided to meet with us, you know.
And young man, I am delighted y'all could meet. So, my name is Supreme, but my real name is Stephen Long. Mr. Preston, how long you been in business? Well, I launched the company about 4 years ago, but we had been working on it a long time before that. We had been working on the company since about the early 70s. Oh man, and you already got all them bands and singers and stuff? Wow, that's deaf. After giving them a tour of the studios, he had them take seats in his office and offered them sodas before he settled behind his desk. He handed them all consent forms for their parents to sign. Deeja's mother was able to sign hers right on the spot, and Norman had one of the assistants to make a copy for her to keep.
When do you need these back, Mr. Preston?
I say you should get them back here by Friday if that's possible. If you can't make it up here Friday, just let me know. I'll have somebody to come out and get them.
Yeah, I think we can do that.
Norman asked them to give their real names for the company's record keeping. Being treated for any injuries during performances was also included in the agreement. Kim had read the entire contract while the kids were asking Norman all those questions. She liked what she saw in that agreement.
Miss Kim, can you bring us back up here to drop off our agreements once our mothers sign?
Well, I surely can. The teens laughed and joked, excited about having met Norman and being able to perform for one of his music groups, his own nieces, no less. Kim dropped the boys off in Berry Farms before heading to their residence on Alabama Avenue, 4 blocks from where the school they attended was located. Deeja's parents lived in a single-family, 4-bedroom home. Norman preferred to meet the kids and their parents, get permission from their parents. Smoke, through Johnny Hutchinson, had promised to get the consent forms from the parents, but he seemed to have dropped the ball, and Norman did not know why he had not heard anything from Smoke regarding that. So, when Kim Ahmed called regarding her daughter, he invited them all up to the studio to meet with him. He did not understand what was taking Smoke so long to get them all connected. Chapter 10. The next week, Supreme and Romy decided to go up to the avenue for a burger and fries. While there, they hit the arcade to play Pac-Man. Supreme preferred playing Centipede, but every time he went, someone was playing and there was usually a line waiting. On the way back, they saw Cassius Kane leaning against his car, talking to a young woman who had graduated from Ballou High School a couple of years ago.
Hey, what's up, superstars?
Cassius called out to them. He sent the young woman away in order to channel his attention on the students. "Sup, Kane?" Supreme said, slapping hands with the guy.
Yo, I saw that last show y'all did at the Panorama Room, but I couldn't stay. I had some business to tend to. But check this. Y'all been making a brother rich. Y'all winning all these contests. And that girl on your team.
He suddenly looked around.
Where's she at?
Well, yeah, she always eating the cafeteria. Her pops don't like her leaving campus at lunchtime.
Yeah, that's right. Her dad is Sahir Ahmed. I know who he is. He's one of Farrakhan's men. Oh, you know him?
Romy asked.
Who don't know that man? That's why nobody messes with her, though.
Word? You ain't saying nothing but a word, Cash.
But yo, check this.
He opened the passenger's door of his beige caddy and reached in.
Come here.
The boys drew closer, but not very close. They did not know what the man was up to. Although Kane seemed harmless, no one could ever really tell. Cassius peeled off two $100 bills and handed each boy his portion.
Y'all, what's this for? What's the catch, man?
Supreme asked.
That's yours. Consider it a bonus. Y'all making a brother rich. Soon I'll be up out of here, know what I mean? Keep winning them contests, okay? Yo, thanks, man.
The boys slapped hands with him.
Always. Just stay in school.
They walked back to campus. Later that evening, Cassius headed to the Social Q Club to meet a couple of ladies and have a drink. But Brick, the owner, told him that Smoke was there and he wanted to talk to him. Cassius did not consider him and Smoke as friends, so he wondered what they could possibly talk about. He headed to the back room. Smoke was sitting on the oval-shaped sofa. Woody stood at the door and closed it behind Cassius once the man entered.
Gosh, man, what it do?
Smoke said.
Making it, taking it. But Brick said you called for me. What's up?
Well, I saw you talking to my group. Wonder what that was about.
Your group? What group?
Romy and the boys. Street Spin Syndicate.
So it's against the law to talk to people now? Now listen here. I know you run most of Southeast that's east of the Anacostia, but I didn't know we were under a dictatorship when it comes to conversing.
Calm down, man. Just asking. I know you take bets on shows, and they've been winning them all.
Well, that is no way connected to me. I just run numbers. You get me?
I understand that. I'm just concerned about my investment. I have to protect them.
And as I said before, I'm not in that field. I have no interest in investing in breakdance groups.
Cassius did not understand why they were having this conversation, and for the first time, Smoke seemed rather insecure. Seeing those cracks made Cash want to laugh. The man wasn't as tough as he appeared. Stands to reason he had to eliminate all the competition.
By the way, I didn't know you were even interested in a bunch of kids dancing to hip-hop. I always took you for a guy who was interested in something a little more, well, brass.
You know what? You need to watch your mouth, nigga. Woody spoke up. Cassius looked him up and down and said,
Why? I don't see God in this room anywhere.
pushing it. You push it.
Because he's the only one I have to watch my mouth around, okay? Don't get it twisted.
Yeah, but you pushing it. You pushing your luck. Alright, and luck runs out.
I'm a grown man.
Hey! Yo, Kane. I just called you in here to see what your intentions were. That is all.
Well, now you know.
With that, Cassius left the room and headed back into the club portion of the building. His aim was to have a good time, not to be sitting back there verbally sparring with Smoke and Woody.
Can I roll with you, baby? Can I roll with you, baby? Can I roll with you, baby?